Does this work?
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Scrim Zone podcast.
We are back for season 6 of Scrims,
I am your host, Dean.
and I'm your co-host, Mason,
We are joined by some of the captains for the first hour.
and we'll discuss our expectations for season 6 by ourselves after. We will probably be wrong.
Anyway, let's get into the podcast. Let's fucking go.
Okay, well, I'm going to hope that sounded like decent to anyone who was watching. Obviously, Will and Mason couldn't hear it, but Mason will surely turn on his cam at some point.
Let me finish my Baldur's Gate download, okay? Come on.
He is
The chat
downloading,
understands.
which clearly he means he cannot turn on his cam. Clearly, these are contradictory things.
yes.
Do not mind the keyboard on the floor, whatever. Or the sink. No questions about the room.
Setup.
Exactly.
Bro looks like he's in a construction building. Like, is someone drilling into your room right now, or what's happening here?
No.
Oh
But,
my gosh, you see me on stream, just
Just got the
weird.
watch on. Also, yes, Will, the first time joining us, is a new captain this season. I'm really excited.
Oh, yeah.
Honestly, very happy to have him on. Has been dedicated to the league for such a long time. Has played all the way back in season
Deserved.
0. So
Deserved,
that's really
honestly.
high. Yes,
Beat Dean as is normal, you know.
this is true.
After I got passed up, have to bring it up every time.
Okay, the
Well, to
Baldur's
be
Gate
fair,
download
you
is
didn't
done.
play us, so
I
We'll see.
did.
well,
I did.
that's true, but not in playoffs.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. That was the only time I played. I subbed 4 playoffs.
Oh, you mean in season 1?
Mm-hmm.
I meant
on Eric.
this season. I was confused.
This season.
Okay. Well, for some reason Mason isn't showing up, so I have to do the grid.
Yeah.
Whoa. Okay, we're all
I
here.
love the shirt. I love the shirt.
Does
Thank
big
you.
3
This
video
shirt's
work?
good.
Oh, okay, big. All right, it works. Oh, he's got
Bro, I
the
had my
Drake
video
shirt
turned off.
on.
That's fucked up.
It
Yes,
just
sir.
didn't work. Okay. Well, anyway, we are back with the State of Scrims podcast. It has been a long time. It is fun to be back here. I feel like there's a lot to talk about this season. There may or may not have been a scrim, which rarely actually happened despite the name. Don't ask me. Why is Mason in his grandma's house? He has never left.
Yeah, I'm always here. Hello?
It's okay.
Why are we
Mason-
hating Blake?
Surely Mason will
Blake's my
come
number one
move
op,
in
for
with
real.
me soon. We will see. But
Ooh.
bro is just a hater. Anyway, eventually captains may show up at some point, but for now, it's just us. We're chilling. Mason, what are the 3 things you look for most this season?
This season?
Yeah, just
I'm
spitball.
curious.
Before you start, Noam is in casting futon.
No, I'm just casting futon.
Yeah. Oh, my phone.
I'll give it-
I
I'll give
have
it
a
a try.
couple.
I
I don't know.
the directions.
I
Yeah,
am curious to see
Perms are
what what will happen with Metabusters or not Metabusters? Yeah, Metabusters is one of them. I am joining the team. It's gonna be me and Cam. It's gonna be a fun season for us. I think it'll be a little bit of the dynamic duo. My mid, his jungler. You know, we should get that as matching names at some point in the server, but that's a different conversation. I am also curious about New York Nutbusters. I think they only kept Mike? Question mark.
Yeah, that sounds right.
We have Adam as a sub as well.
Ah, okay.
But Adam was on
I'm
Andromeda.
curious-
I was on Andromeda.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
It's
Yeah,
okay.
I
was
am
too
curious
focused on
to
beating
see
everyone to
Recap.
know.
how Mike will adapt to a new team environment. And also MVP. They didn't really change a whole lot, but they have new players and
Okay,
Liz
well,
and
They dumped
Uza.
the finals MVP who's out captaining a different team, so
that's true.
I would
that is
argue
kind of true.
they're losing someone important. I think Valor fumbled the bag there, but that's just a personal take.
we can argue about that, but I'm curious to see how they'll perform. Heroic and Aya, proven duo. I think is Aya playing jungle this season or something?
Yeah, I think
That
it's
should be fun. to
Aya
watch.
jungle,
Ooh.
heroic mid, and then it's
Yeah, Valor
Valor
and
and
carry,
Liz
right?
bot.
I'm,
Yeah.
I'm
excited
so
for
excited
that.
to watch that. Actually,
That'd
that
be
sounds
cool.
really hype.
I mean honestly,
But yeah, I think those
didn't-
are my
yeah.
3. I am also curious how Dash will perform on Rift Sharks, but that's a very small tangent. that's the jungler bias, you know. What
So
can I say?
true.
I'm curious.
All right, well, what about you? Three things you're excited for.
You know, I'm looking through the rosters.
All right, Noam,
with
if you have-
all,
if you
all,
have any
all the
takes, we can go
subs
to you.
as per usual. You know, I'm excited for Metabusters because there was some. They didn't get off on the right start last season. I'm excited to see some meta busting. It's always entertaining. when that happens.
Yeah, we'll do a lot of meta busting. Don't worry.
Hopefully it'll be smart meta busting, so we get wacky picks that work versus
Okay.
just like trolling meta busting.
Hey, some of them.
No, we can always hope.
Like toward the end of the season, it was actually pretty banging. So I hope they continue that, and that's probably what I'm most excited for. Like Mason was saying for MVP, the Aya Jungle, I'm pretty hyped for. That's gonna be interesting because she's very like roaming around the map focused, so I think she'll be good in jungle. Excited to see how that works. And what else?
PB is begging you guys to bring up Andromeda, so.
I mean, Andromeda's gonna be hyped, but I'm more hyped to see my team play because this is kind of this becoming captain and getting this team set up happened very suddenly. So I'm excited to see how we can do with very short notice.
Yeah. Once again, shout out Will for stepping up last minute. That was super helpful.
Bro.
Really appreciate it.
Yeah, shout outs to Will, bro. You're the GOAT, I guess.
True. All right, Nam, do you have takes or should I go?
Yeah, I can give takes. I mean, we have 2 new captains this season, so I'm excited to see Will and Cesarius.
True.
Oh, true. I forgot about Spectres. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, Spectres.
Your old team.
Yeah,
I'm
old
excited
team,
to
bro.
see the
Half of them
recovery
got
from
obliterated.
Tornado Gap.
Oh, true. Actually, I forgot about that too. Honestly.
I'm hoping this season we don't have a team go 0-10. That's another thing I'm looking forward to.
Oh, true.
Yeah.
Actually,
Okay, no,
I'd be
I
okay
got
with
you.
it if it's not
I
a
got
different team.
If it's a different.
I mean, if it is a different team.
I think this season will be more competitive.
Yeah, I think
closer.
the way the rosters are looking right now, it's gonna be pretty spicy. And then I'm also excited to see Garrett finally get recognition for being best ADC in the server.
Okay, those are fighting words right there.
I
Who
mean,
won last
I
season? That's all I
have
gotta
the
say.
crown to take him down in terms of the all scrims voting. I will say.
That's true.
And I think I built
Yeah,
a better
'cause it's your
team
main
around me.
role.
So, shut up, Mason. Okay. Anyway,
What?
my 3 takes. I'm
It's the
gonna
only role you perform
I'm
on,
gonna
bro. Don't
kind
be
of
mad at
cheat with the
truth.
first one. I think the support role as a whole is going to be really interesting. We have Mimi coming back, which is fun. That hasn't happened for a while. And Liz, I honestly didn't know much about her, and then played a couple scrims with her recently, and oh my god, so fun to play around. The Rakan is threatening, has that mid lane flex potential, so given that you have like heroic Aya, Valor, Liz on a team, you have some flexes there, which is pretty interesting. I think a lot can go on with that. Obviously, Eric, my king, PB is going to be really fun. His two of his best champions are fucking turbo OP right now, so I think that's going to be really fun to watch. Mythic, another new support. I'm really excited to watch him play. I've been messaging him a bit on the off season. Seems like a really fun person, so I'm hoping his gameplay is just as fun. I haven't gotten to watch too much of it. Gotten to play with it a bit, and it feels like he's pretty fun to play with. So that should make for a good time. And obviously, Kathy coming back into like a more starting position, I think will be really fun as well. Getting to see Garrett have a chance to kind of come online with Kathy, I think should be a really fun time. There were rumors of the Garrett Layla bot lane coming back, but unfortunately, I think that fizzled out. No one probably knows more about it than me. But that's my number 1. My number 2 is I feel like there's going to be a lot more like rock paper scissors going on in this season than there was before. I feel like last season everyone's team comp kind of worked out the same way, but I feel like there's a lot of like very different team comps here. So like some might beat others more so. Like obviously we have New York Nutbusters, who has like Adam and Russ in the top lane, which are very different dynamics. And then we have some teams where it seems like topside is like their weaker area. So we could see if Adam's able to like split those teams open. And we have a very powerful jungle returning, which I feel like is going to turn some things upside down as well. I feel like last season the jungle pool was definitely different without Mason. So him returning could create some different dynamics when teams are playing meta busters.
Can't wait to see 5 jungle bans every game.
Yep, we'll never
That's
play
true.
here ever.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
And then
Sure, I'm not even top 3 jungle. You're right, PB. My bad. I'll perform better next time. You understand.
yeah, and then I think my Mason, if you can keep an eye on chat, I clearly
got
don't
you,
know
I
how
got you.
Twitch works. But
I
I
yell
think
at you every time to
my
look at chat, and it's just a fruitless endeavor. So I got you,
my
bro.
my last one is going to be cheating, kind of like Will's is. I'm just going to say I'm excited to play with my new roster. Um, Unfortunately, I don't think Dash is going to be able to play too many games. So sorry, Mason, one of your points is
Sucks.
gone. I'm not entirely sure what the situation is there, but I would not expect to see Dash play too much. But we do have Ann and Hadiri. Hadiri is looking fucking crazy, by the way. Y'all should
My
be scared. I simply dredged him up from the trenches. Metabusters destroyed his
player.
morale. I tell
Dead.
him, "You are good, Metabusters. Dog shit, not your fault." And now, bro is smurfing on people, drawing bans. He's going crazy. I'm so excited to have him on my team.
This player, Veg.
I
Yeah,
think
but it's working,
you need to give us
so-
the credit for breaking him down so you could build him back up. Thank you.
This is true. But anyway, I think my team's really exciting. I have a lot of good players. Y'all were sleeping on Ann and Hongbaba. They go completely through. I'm able to sign them both. I don't know. I think shit is going to go crazy. I think our roster is going to be really interesting, even if we don't necessarily do well. But, you know, I think we will. Biased take, obviously, but is what it is. My man Joel is still here. One box of Krispy Kremes buys me 3 seasons with this man. So hopefully more than that. But that's my go over real quick. If we want to do power rankings with us 4, I think that could be good. Or we could just get captain power rankings now, and then Mason and I could break down the teams a little bit more later, and then do ours. And by that, I mean we can just steal their ideas and do it later. So I'm all good with
Yeah,
that.
I think we should do captains first. That's my opinion, though.
Does
Yep.
Do you wanna-
Spectres have the most new people?
I think so.
Is that what I'm seeing? That'll be hype.
I don't-
Yeah. I mean,
I don't
I like
necessarily
that. I'm
think
excited.
that's true. I think maybe most new starters, but a lot of those people were
Yeah.
playing last season still.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah. I'm excited though. Spectre should
I
be
have
fun.
one
Oh,
completely
yeah.
new starter.
Oh no, I almost
And
made
by
my image
completely new,
file
I mean,
25,000 instead of 2,500. That would have gone great. Someone is going to get cut off here. I actually did not prepare to ever have 4 people on the podcast.
I
hold
can
on.
turn my camera off.
Here, let me lean this way so I'm like half in frame.
Yeah, wait. If you guys just both scooch in, you can actually both show up.
Oh, wait, this way?
Let me look.
Huge.
Oh, I'm in. Perfect. This is perfect.
Wrong way, no.
Wait, Stanley, if you're eating, just literally make a quick power rankings and then drop it in the captain's chat so
Yeah,
we can
yeah,
throw it
that-
up
that
on screen
works.
or some shit. That's like
Hey.
easy solution as
Okay.
fuck. TBH.
This is working. Cool. Who wants to
I
go
look
first
like Mason right
out
now.
of Will and Noam?
I can go first.
You're new. I'll give you the honor of going first.
Oh boy, the honor of making the opinion. Okay, let me look through these rosters. I haven't thought at all about like power rankings or anything.
Could we
'cause-
real quick get a recap of starters for each roster so that Will does not have to.
I'm
come
just
up with
going
this
off
on
the
spot.
starters on the website.
Okay, hold on.
Yeah, I
No,
know,
that's-
but
that's
also for
awesome.
the people who are watching, so they don't
Yes,
have to.
yes.
go on the
Yeah.
website.
Yep.
Just
Let
throw,
me get this
throw up
pulled
the seasons.
Yep.
roster,
I
yeah.
just tossed Chrome on top of. Oh, I'm doing everything wrong here. Oh, okay. I will use this as an opportunity to plug Tab for a Cause. It's a great Chrome extension. It allows you to generate ad revenue for charities when you open it up. Genuinely think it's really cool. Not sponsored or anything. But check it out. You can like just download stuff and you see ads in your little peripheral down on the sides, and you can just donate money to charities, which I think is really neat. I've raised
In corporate shill
probably
era.
like $20 over the last few years, so it's not that much, but I feel like anything helps.
Anything is better
but-
than nothing.
Yeah, exactly. That's a fair point. Okay, Andromeda is Alana, Jonah, Stanley, Alex, PB with D and Healy as subs. We'll give a shout out to D. Played with them in the Scrim on Saturday. Was pulling out the Jungle Malphite, Jungle Viego. Really fun. I thought that was a great time. Moving on to MVP, we have Pooza, Aya, Heroic, Valor, and Liz with Silico, Psycho Carrot, and Jackson as a sub. I'm just going to shout out Psycho Carrot. Got to play with him as my support in IRL scrims. That was fucking hype. That was such a good time. It was so cool
That
to
was-
get
that
to
was
meet
mad I
Psycho
wasn't able to
Carrot in
go.
person. Was really fun. Metabusters is 2 people in the call starting us off. We have Noam and Jar, and then we have
Yay.
Cam, Garrett, Kathy with Jacob, Joey, and Thomas as subs. Honestly, it's hard to pick a shout out from the subs. They're all people that I like a lot. NYMB going on, we have Russ, Mike, Dave, Will, and Mimi, with Adam and Dominic as a sub. I think Adam's interesting for the reason I mentioned before, and Dominic obviously has played a couple games in the bracket signup. I'm excited to see more of him going on. Rift Sharks, we have Joel, Dash, Taxi, Dean, Eric. I think what we're more likely to see is this lineup where we have Anon for Dash, or this, not that one, something like that. But just putting that out for reference. But anyway, we have Joel, Hadiri, Anne as well, and then Michael, Hong, and Drago are also on our team. Spectres, we have Avery, Cesarius, Gruer, Sarverus, Mythic, and then Bean, Honan, and Z as a sub. I'm excited to see Bean and Z. I think they're both pretty new to the server, pretty good friends with each other. I know Mythic is going to be out for about a month at some point during the season, so we're going to get to see a lot of subbing during that time, which I think is going to be pretty interesting. Always think Honan's a blast to play with too, so just going to give him some love. I was also talking earlier today to Cesarius for scheduling purposes, but we were talking about Gruer, and he leaks me Gruer's real name, and I go, well, I was always imagining Gruer as just Gru from Despicable Me, but larger, like more Gru, like Gruer, Gruist, right? And he goes, it's actually someone who grues. So apparently I got it wrong, but anyway, I think that team's going to be really exciting, but that is all 6 of the teams. So Will, if you are ready, let me know.
Okay.
You can start in any order you
I'm
want.
gonna ego it and say that we're gonna be number 1.
Okay,
Hey,
we like
big.
that.
Big.
I gotta keep up with. We're gonna be the best.
Okay.
All the obvious reasons. I'm really hype about our bot lane because I'm best ADC, and Mimi's kind of insane.
This is true.
Also, Dave and Mike go hard. So, and Russ, we're gonna. And like Dean was saying, the versatility with the top lane. I think if we start playing for top lane a bit, I think we'll be chilling. And that's something I will attempt to adapt to, because normally I like playing for bot side, but
It's okay. We can make it easier for you by banning Twitch, Kaisa every game, and then the Zaya as well.
Just triple ban me,
Right.
so everybody else gets exactly what they want.
It's not like Cog's good either, so you'd still get him.
Really not.
Yeah. And then I'm gonna say Meta Busters too.
Big.
I'm gonna say Meta. I think the Garrett Cathy bot lane is gonna go hard too.
Okay.
Can you tell what role this guy plays?
Yeah. Can you tell what I prioritize in life?
Okay.
Busters go hard, I think.
3. Ooh. I'm torn between Spectres and Rift Shark.
Okay.
I'll take it.
I think I'm gonna put Rift Sharks and then Spectres.
All right.
Although,
What's your reasoning?
So, Taxi is very scary. This man scares me when we play against him. That's the big thing. And then Dean, I don't want to see you playing Ash. That's annoying. I hate it. Can you tell I play bot side?
Yes. Well, no one say anything, but I played Ash in our scrims tonight, and ooh 0-8, maybe. Maybe it's not a concern.
That's good. We like that. And then Spectres, I think the new people are gonna do very well. That's my inkling, just a feeling.
Yeah.
So, and then
You have MVP and Andromeda left.
I know.
Good luck with that
I think I'm gonna go MVP
hard, man.
Andromeda. Although
That's crazy.
TV in the chat, probably fuming right now.
He is
I imagine.
moaning. He's fuming right now.
Okay. The only reason I'm gonna put MVP above Andromeda is because of Heroic and Aya duo is just gonna be absolutely insane.
Yep.
But I'm very concerned about MVP topside.
Okay.
There's I think versus stronger top laners, kind of like the top tier. I don't know how this will go. I think they'll do fine until more mid-tier top laners. But yeah, I'm very concerned if like teams play like super hard topside. Yeah, that's pretty much the only reason why I have them above Andromeda. Or
Okay.
sorry, yeah, above Andromeda. I heroic bot lane, or not bot lane.
I heroic wherever, honestly.
I
Yeah.
heroic mid lane jungle duo. That's what I wanted to say.
Okay.
Can you
Gotcha.
tell I'm bad with words? But yeah, if that was like another jungle mid pair, I would almost 100% put Andromeda above MVP. Alex PB. That's just the New York Nutbusters last season.
Bot lane.
I guess.
Yes, it
Yeah,
is.
it is.
Okay, I'm excited to see how that goes.
Okay.
I don't.
Alright,
Yeah.
our
I haven't
power
actually-
rankings are like super different. That's pretty exciting.
This is good.
All right.
Um,
No, what you
so,
throwing
I
out
mean,
here?
Obviously, I gotta put Metabusters
Okay.
first. I think the Mason Cam duo and then the Garrett Kathy duo is just too good. I think people are gonna permaban Mason's like 4 champs, and Cam and Garrett and Kathy are gonna be feasting.
I will say, if you're
um,
doing that, you're playing the game wrong. Do not ban more than one of Mason's champions. I hate to
That's
bring
fucked
it
up,
to you.
Dean.
Yep. I mean, by all means, leave the horse open.
Ah,
For
that's the
sure.
one you should be banning.
Dude,
I
or
hate
the
to
other
break it
three.
to you.
Hacker and Zillion, man. Just, oh my god.
Just give us one of Mason's champs.
No, I swear, when it
By
gets to
one
the
of Mason's
point,
champs, I mean like one of the 15 that he
if
plays.
Mason and Stanley are ever on the same team, it's so Jover. Like, that would be insane.
All right. Second. Oh, this is hard. This is like really hard because there's like 4 teams that I think could go here.
Huh?
Oof.
Wait,
think-
which one could not so you can put him last?
Okay. I was gonna put MVP last,
Hey?
and the reason for that is because I have not seen Aya's jungle, and I'm not yet sure if it is something we should.
I'll
Have
pull up the
faith.
stats on it. I keep
It's
talking.
okay. She did alright.
I
She
mean,
played a
Aya
game of it
as a
in-
player is very good, and I would be surprised if her jungle was not good as well. But I think being in a new role, and I also am a little bit worried about the top side.
Okay, we have one game. 11-4-11 on Hecarim. Into Joey, who is not a bad jungler by any means.
Joey got gapped this game. I watched this shit. Ooh, it was not good. I'm sorry, bro.
I'm just
I hate
gonna
to be
point out
Joey
I
Wait,
was
what was Joey
supporting,
playing?
and my support goes kind of hard.
What was Joey playing?
He was
is
playing
Kane?
Kane. Kane's a good matchup
Ooh,
into Hecarim too. So
Yeah, and he plays Kane. Sorry, Joey, but that was.
Ooh, that's not
I'm
the
But
one.
Alright,
yeah,
alright.
so
Anyway,
I'm gonna
we-
stick with
we
it.
digress.
I think Aya can definitely prove me wrong, and I would welcome that. But
Okay.
that is my 6th place.
Oh, true. PB spitting
I think-
facts. Rel jungle's broken right now, and
I think 5th place, I'm gonna have to go Rift Sharks.
Okay.
Wait, this is crazy.
I have 0 faith in the Dean Eric bot lane.
Wait, this is like the most big take of
That's
all
the
time.
hardest take I've ever heard. There's no
Holy
way.
shit.
I think
Hold on.
you guys historically have done really well. Dean
You
was
made
just
Dean
leaving.
get up. You made him get up. Oh.
Okay, so for everyone else, no, okay, so I think historically they have done really well. But I also think we all know the Ashe Seraphine shenanigans, and it's just not gonna happen this season.
Okay.
Also,
Fascinating.
Eric has been gone from the game for like 3 months because of school.
I misunderstood the meta here. If we're getting high as shit and saying whatever we want to, I can participate. Okay.
Also, I mean, I don't want to leak DMs, but Dean has confided in me that he is worried. So I think that is a bad sign.
Wait,
Blood
did
right
I?
into the camera.
Yes!
Damn, we're leaking DMs. That's crazy as fuck.
I said
Alright.
losing Dash means we have less roster possibilities.
Yes,
I,
that is.
I was
that
worried
is
because it
also
means
true.
Hong and Taxi get to play less, and I feel bad. That
But those are your 2 best players.
Hey, it seems like PB agrees with
I
your take.
think there's a 3-way tie.
Based off of,
All right. Okay. 4th place. I'm gonna go New York Nutbusters.
Okay.
I
Wait, no,
think
you're about to steal my list word for word, bar for bar.
That's okay. Mine's different. We're good.
I think we can't underestimate Mike's jungling ability, but some of these players are unproven starters. I mean, I can never underestimate Will. I think Will is gonna always
Nah,
perform.
Oh wait.
Ken.
Hold
Dean
on.
does it all the time, and he
Russ,
always loses.
Rusty
so.
Cats started, did well.
Okay.
I
Mike
mean, I
started,
have faith in Russ.
well.
Russ was gonna be a sub for Metabusters.
Dave
until...
has started, done well. Like literally, all 5 of these people have played. You're too green to understand, man.
That's
In 2
definitely
ways.
true.
Oh
wasn't
wait,
here at
hold
the
on. But
beginning.
if we want to do that, like Zach bombs out every finals, bro. Like, what
Yeah, I
do you
mean,
mean?
I wasn't
okay.
gonna say it.
But are we
if you're
doing
talking
regular
mental-
season power rankings? They could end up number 1, and then we have some forfeits in the first round. Like this could
Okay,
happen.
that's true. But I feel
And
like
we have subs though.
there's like some other stuff. But I feel like I should save it for my section.
Yeah. I'll let
Alright,
Mason
go.
explain it because he knows. But
I mean, if your
I
power
know,
rankings
man.
are the
In-
same, he can have better justification.
the stacked bot lanes this season, I think, are just really competitive, and it's a toss up between like every team.
Except me and Eric, apparently. What the fuck?
Yeah, except you guys. You guys suck.
Y'all solved. Y'all's
I'm
fucking.
Dean's
two
number
seasons
one
ago,
enemy.
bro.
I'm taking Mason's role this season.
Just
All right,
like, you're
third,
solid,
I'm gonna
bro.
go Spectres.
Okay. He's actually stealing my list, word for word, bar for bar.
Okay, wait. So,
And then I have Andromeda second.
nah, this is crazy, man. What?
I have learned to not underestimate the PB Alex bot lane.
And
I think the
also,
bot lane's gonna go
Jonah's
crazy.
playing with
Okay,
Alana,
wait.
so
Speaking
it's
of
not-
flopping in playoffs, though,
Alana,
if this is
weak
an
side
argument,
queen. Like
I don't know.
Alana is the weak side queen.
I
Best top laner in the
I
server, bar none.
disagree with both of these pretty hard, but I would say Will's closer to mine. Clearly, Noam's is closer to Mason, but they're both drinking the fucking Metabusters copium juice. Like, there's
Metabusters
a
is
jug of
going
this. There's a jug of something in
Hold
the
on,
Metabusters team
hold on.
room, and both of them have been
hold on.
guzzling, bro.
My power rankings, I think Will's fit. That's all I'm saying, bro. I have cooked. Don't worry.
But it's the same.
No, I have some edits.
Oh,
I
okay.
think I can move some stuff around.
Okay, see, this is why we have them go first, so we can learn and improve.
Yeah.
So he can hear my baked takes and turn them into based takes.
Right.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Just like he's gonna cover my inting
Mid-season.
but-
When things get boring.
in top lane.
That's how it's gotta work. I don't know. Also, I think with Mason being around more, I think we can do more Victor based. But, or I don't know if
Yeah.
is your schedule still perma Mondays or no?
Yeah. My schedule is still perma Mondays.
Oh,
so we're
let's
good.
go. Okay, we are so clean for this season.
We're so back.
Oh my god.
We're so baroque.
Yeah.
Okay. Is there any Victor base left? Let me hold on. Let me go check the.
Wait, did
polls.
Stanley drop his power rankings in the captain chat?
I don't
Can you
see
guys
anything.
check?
Does Stanley hate us? Stanley, you hate us, bro.
Wait, can you guys ping the other captains? I want to see what people said.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll ping them.
Drop some pings, bro.
You got that? Okay.
If there's any Victor
In
base
captain
left,
chat, yeah.
I believe in you. You got this.
Yeah, just drop
Okay,
power
okay.
rankings. We'll throw them up on the screen and talk about
But
them.
meta
I'm curious.
busters. You have Garrett, Kathy, bot lane. You got Cam. If you let that man get Echo, it's over. And then you have Mason. Like what? What? How is they not?
Wait, this is so good. Okay, so some of these are old.
Only dropped his power ranking.
Okay. I'll go over these real quick just because they're too funny. I cannot hold it in anymore. I hate it. Oh my god. I'm just gonna paste them on screen. Okay, this one is pretty good. I have no clue which one it's referring to, but we have ignore that last submission. I misspelt, which is also misspelled. Which I think it would go in the incredibly based category. Unfortunately, I do not have the graphic pulled up because I was not expecting to do this. But anyway, that one goes hard. Whoever sent that in, we love it. We have... Okay, I gotta get these going the right way so I can actually delete them because we go over them and they apply to last season. Okay, this one is really funny. One of the Scrims mid laners sent the tornado so that they wouldn't get gapped by Cerberus.
That's true. No, that's a real ass take. No, that's a real ass take, bro. Cerberus got fucking robbed last season.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah.
Unfortunate.
I think that one's even more based than the last one. I think take him out of
That's
the
so
competition.
based.
I'm glad we'll get to see more of it in the future. Um,
And
The tornado to demolish my mental. Yeah, I mean, it
This
didn't
one's
take
really
that much
good.
effort, but yeah.
NYNB has no egos,
Take
and
that
if they
much
get
effort.
egos, PB will murder them.
This
is real.
Strictly, this is strictly not true because PB has the biggest ego. No,
Nah.
we're
Nah,
lying on
it's
Dane.
it's
Okay.
other people gassing him up, bro. Like it's a bit. I don't know. I played with him,
I
and
was gassing him up.
right.
No,
That's what I said.
no.
I
And now
like
the
other
ego's
people
gotten to his
besides
head, bro.
him.
Nay,
I don't know. I played with him in side ups. I was like, "Pick me, Zaya. We can't lose." He goes, "You suck. I don't trust you on Zaya." And then I drop a 19 bomb, so I don't know. Maybe he was wrong, but
That's ego. That's ego. What do you
No.
mean?
But he doesn't let me have the ego. He tells me not to. Also, I'm
Okay,
not
that's
Alex,
fair.
so clearly I'm more of a like insane demon than the old NYB players were. And then this one is my favorite take of all time. I definitely was saving this one for you, but it is Mason's brain is made of Swiss cheese, and everything Dean, I guess, says passes through the holes.
I mean, this is strictly not true. I think I've read more of the rules than some of the admins, so.
Ooh, calling him out.
Outs fired.
Could
You
be
wanna
true.
you wanna drop names?
Which
Do it,
one?
Mason. Yeah, drop it.
I'm not dropping names. We're not.
Okay.
We're not that petty. I don't give a fuck.
All right. Anyway,
Call out Cam right now.
Dean.
True. I would call Cam out. My mid
Dean
laner.
doesn't
I
know
know
the
you're
rules.
asked to not read those rules. Don't fucking lie to me.
it's okay. I call him out anyway, so this is not new information.
I do too.
Okay, so is this a non-PG stream? Am I allowed to curse?
You can swear. I'm pretty sure.
Oh well, to be fair, I'm pretty sure the AI generated words at the beginning cursed. I think I had the
Nice.
League of Legends announcer saying, "Let's fucking go." We had Stanley's power rankings next.
Yeah.
Okay, I'd rather not copy and paste because I think it's more dramatic to not. So,
Yeah.
let's just do random things first. Did he give justifications?
No, he just ranked him.
I don't think so. Cam is
should-
adding Mason and I saying slander.
It's only slander.
It's
if
true
not
when I
true,
say it,
bro.
I
hate
guess.
to break
Like,
it to you.
I don't know.
It's only slander if it's not true. And my brother in Christ, I know for a fact I have
Stanley
read
is
at
saying
least
he will
2 pages of
justify
that
in
document,
chat.
and you have
Okay,
not.
okay.
I just
Um,
read these. Stanley has a
let's-
blast.
Let's do or I guess Will just leaked, so New York Nutbusters last, I guess. What's the justification, Stanley? What is he saying?
I need to hear this justification.
I don't know where he's
This is-
typing.
This is
so we'll find out
completely,
soon.
I mean,
completely
it's
big.
gotta be somewhere, right? It'd be funny if you
I mean,
just typed
Stanley,
in
if you want to
admin
join the
chat,
call,
so-
you can just
Yeah.
talk to her.
Hop and call, bro. You still eating, bro? Like,
Stanley has a feast meant for 8 kings.
Stanley worries about New York Nutbusters' consistency and worries they may fall apart.
Okay,
I
Mason
can see
pointed this
that.
out. This is valid. Let's do second.
Even
Who
if
do
they
you has?
fall apart, I am
does he have second?
dragging us to the win.
I believe Will on this one.
I also believe on
Stanley is
hello.
Oh
here.
my God, it's
Okay,
Stanley.
Mason-
Boy.
What up, Stan?
Now we can fight.
Mason,
now we
go
can
to
fight.
your other way.
Oh no! Oh no! Okay, here we go.
this way?
Okay, yeah, we're all on there. Actually, you can go either way, Mason, because you're between me and Noah. Oh wait, no, I could just
Let me-
do
let me
show
get connected.
non-video participants. There, okay. So everyone go back to what you were doing before.
Oh my god!
All right, Stanley, who do you have second?
Second or fifth?
Let's do second. Let's fix it up.
Jump around. Let's
I
fuck
don't
around
remember.
and find out.
Number 2 you're asking, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
Spectres.
Spectres. Okay,
Okay,
what's the
sounds
reasoning
like
here?
that.
I fuck with this, but what's the reasoning?
I feel like their synergy is just going to be too good. Like, I feel like they're all
Okay.
good players, and, like, I don't know. I think
Yeah.
they're just
Kind of
gonna
a
work
W
too well
take,
together.
This
Okay,
is something I want to touch on later, but we do have like the New York Nutbusters too, kind of coming in here in terms
Yeah.
of bring a friend group on and see what happens.
Yeah,
Let's do fifth now.
Fifth? Rift Sharks.
God damn it,
Let's
man!
go,
What the fuck
Rich,
is
let's
this?
go!
Okay, do you
Let's
also
go!
think me and Eric are the worst bot lane in the server? Or are we like?
No, I don't
Oh,
care.
I was exaggerating. I don't actually think you guys. are
I'm the only one that has faith in Rift Sharks. Jesus Christ.
Well,
Listen,
clearly.
I mean,
Faith puts
yeah,
them
but your
third.
opinion doesn't
Nice.
count. Your opinion doesn't count.
I kind of feel like Rift Sharks might be like the anti-Spectres in a way, where I don't know if like the synergy is gonna kick in.
Okay.
Is my
Oh,
take.
we are sleeping on the Rift Sharks being the first team to practice all summer, but this is what it is.
That's
Well,
true. Wait,
yes,
we did flex games,
but-
but hold on. That's strictly not true.
We were playing
That
as soon
is-
as the last season ended.
I feel like this is like a problem that like a lot of teams that have a lot of players have. Is like, it's not as like like the core roster is not as like well
Okay, that's
like
fair.
practiced and synergistic kind of.
Okay.
All right. Let's do 3 because I think it's really funny to figure out who you have first and fourth. Unless you just put Andromeda first. Did you put Andromeda first?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's okay. I
think we
I
can
forgot
solve the power
that
rankings.
I forgot that we have biased power rankings. So
Well, I'm a captain.
right. No.
What kind of leader would I be if I said that my team was gonna fail?
Jacob says, "Wait, guys, my point blocked. -2. Let's go." That's my goat.
I lost like what? 2 points? I think it was 12, and I'm at 10. I don't know how it worked. Point
I
system is
forget.
broken.
So true.
Real.
PB says Andrew will not be first, but we will be top 3.
See, that's my biased take as well. Like I think we're good. I don't think we're. My bot lane is being slandered on this podcast. On God, wait! I literally said I was excited for it, and I've said nothing, no other comments about yours. But is what it is. Okay. Anyway, Stanley, 3 or 4. This is between what, MVP and Metabusters.
Metabusters.
Who wins that? Or who
Third
wins
place?
more other games? Doesn't have to be head-to-head.
Stanley, our friendship
Third-
rides on this, by the way.
Third place, I put MVP.
Now,
Rest in
now
peace,
the,
Stanley
the
ended.
dreaded combo will never be true. This is so good for the rest of us.
Sure, actually.
Nah, we play it in Clash, so clearly not allowed to play it anywhere else.
You can fill out the last one, right? Do you want to justify these two in their spots, or?
I think MVP and Metabusters are kind of similar in that like most of the points are concentrated jungle mid, but I think
Okay.
MVP having Valor as well in the bot lane makes it a bit more well-rounded. I think Metabusters might be pretty feast or famine, kinda, and I think it being less like overall balanced makes it. That's why I put it fourth.
Has Valor played AD in that?
Yes, he
I'll
has.
pull it up.
Valor
I'll
has
pull it up.
played AD, yeah.
We can keep talking.
Because
I'll
when
pull
I
it
was
up.
on MVP, we played like when I wasn't there. They played heroic AD, I think, and Valor.
Okay.
I don't know if Valor's
He
playing mid or jungle
is
at that point.
overall in the jungle 5 and 10, 33% win rate, 4.9, 6.7, 6.2. His most played are Jinx, Kai'Sa, Xayah. He is 1 and 7 cumulatively on those picks, for what that's worth. Does have the infinite KD on the Yasuo, went 6-0-6 in a game, has done quite well on the Zeri, and I think those are the more recent games. If we filter to just Season 6, he has played 6 games and has gone 2 and 4. But it looks like when he is playing champions that are champions he's specifically comfortable on, instead of just conforming to the meta, he does a lot
Yeah.
better. So we'll see if that's an adaptation that they do make throughout the
I
season.
will also say Valor subbed AD for Silico on Silicats
Okay.
This
a
is
little
true.
bit, and we had anti-synergy together. So that might be dragging his ADC.
I will check
numbers
how
down
many
a
of
little
them
bit.
are on the team format. But
Okay.
again, if you want to keep talking, that was only 2 games, and he is 0-2 on those. But
Did any of the other captains drop a power rankings, or are they all? AFK?
no, I have a
no,
couple other ones, but Stanley can keep
Okay.
talking because I think he did not get the chance to talk about Metabusters.
Yeah, go for it.
Thought I did. I don't know.
You hate me and Cam. Is that the
Oh.
conclusion?
Yeah,
or
No,
what?
it'll be
no,
feast and
no.
famine.
I think it's a scary combo, but I think like
So you hate Garrett
that's
and Kathy?
basically the team, and if you find a way to counter
he
it,
hates
you
me.
win.
So,
Is
so
kinda
you
my
hate Garrett
take.
and Kathy is what I'm hearing here.
No, but
I do want to point out that 3 of Metabusters were on Metabusters last season, and so our points are significantly lower than they would be
that is true.
if we were not on an 0-10 team. 2 of them are starters. Garrett is not a 10-point player, and I'm maybe a little biased, but I don't think I'm an 8-point player either. So
point system. Bro.
Maybe in top. Maybe in top, actually.
Yeah.
But
We'll
yeah,
see.
I mean, I don't think it's gonna be like. I don't think it's gonna. I think it's gonna be very, very close between the teams this time.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it was really hard to like narrow it down to power rankings this season.
Yeah.
I get
Like,
that.
I don't think I could look at any of the the players or the teams I put in any of the spots and say, yeah, they're definitely going there.
Okay, I will.
They have a lot of wiggle room, right?
I will
Yeah.
open this up to the crowd. If
Okay.
anyone wants to DM me power rankings and leak them, I won't let captains cower because that's cringe. But I will leak some power rankings I've got and not say who they are attached to. These two are
You
very
need some
different from
power
what we've seen. We have an MVP at the top. Spectres is right after it.
Okay.
We have Rift Sharks third. We have New York Nutbusters in fourth. Metabusters in fifth, and Andromeda last.
Oh my god, TB.
Oh man.
Oh, please.
If anyone else would like to submit these, I would highly appreciate it. I think it is fun to just see.
I'll leak.
what
I
other
know
people
who it
think.
is. It's Taxi. That's crazy as fuck.
Oh my god.
Okay, he is telling me to adjust it. Switches, MVP, and Spectres, and Rift, MVP third, move the rest up one. I can't tell what warranted this, but Spectres is in first, Rift Sharks is in second, MVP goes third. Did Taxi just also send you this? Or is he saying something, Mason?
No, he just said he told PB to unalive in game.
Okay.
In Minecraft.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mystery Players 2 power ranking.
Yeah.
I should just probably copy and paste that, but whatever. Hold on, I'm getting messages here. Oh, this is an updated list, or this is maybe, I don't know. I already had this one, and it did not change. So, MVP at the top, Rift Sharks, Andromeda. We have New York Nutbusters. We have Metabusters, and we have Spectres in last, which is crazy personally, but. Here, I'll put these up a little bit so we can take a peek at them. But there was some similarity before they got swapped up. Now I gotta relook at them and figure out. Rift Sharks is second in both. Metabusters is fifth in both. New York Nutbusters is in fourth. So this seems pretty agreed on. But the rest of the spots are just absolutely tossed around. Third, sixth, and first are inconsistent. MVP is either first or third. MVP, or I just said that. Spectres is either first or last for some reason. And we have Andromeda at either third or sixth. I think the flexibility between the two spots, I'd agree with Andromeda the most. I think that they're probably in that realm for me. I will have to see when I get to my own power rankings, but I think Spectres between first and last is absolutely crazy. And MVP being in the range of first and third, I think is a little bit outside of where I'd put them personally. But as I said before, we'll have to get a bit later in the podcast to hear Mason and I's takes. But yeah, if anyone else would like to submit these, I think this is really entertaining. I probably won't keep them up that long just because I would like to keep the captain's opinions up there more. I do have a...
Am added you with his power rankings in a decent discussion, by the way.
What a great power ranking.
That's my admin, by the way. That's my admin, bro.
My
What can I
mid
say?
laner.
Okay, his power rankings, for those wondering, are just one Metabusters, and then it's just like line breaks,
Is that
and
four
then we
new
have,
lines?
and then we have, I don't know, like this is such a trash power ranking. like I don't care, even if you're right about the first one, this is so low effort, I cannot support it.
That's my mid laner. Cam
That's
says
my mid,
trash.
baby.
Trash Cam, you doing would not
Question mark.
stand behind any opinion here. There's no opinion being offered. Tell me where any other team on it goes, and we will revisit this. Unbelievable. It takes a lot of energy to be this confident.
He's got you there.
Yeah, it
He's
takes a
got
lot
you
of
there.
energy to jump off of a bridge if your friend tells you to do it too, but no one's applauding that.
He's not supporting this low effort content, I suppose.
You tried. You failed. It's okay.
I don't know. What are the power rankings if we go off like average rank? Just off the top of the head, are we spitballing? I think it's MVP because they have 2
Probably
masters.
MVP. Yeah.
I'm thinking.
Oh, are we doing like based
Oh,
off
you-
rank?
Based
Yeah.
on league rank.
Mm-hmm.
Stanley, can you get on that?
Yeah.
Sure.
Wouldn't it be Andromeda second? Because they have a Masters player, right? But I don't know if the other
But we
players
have like
opted
2
out or not.
unranked as well, or like silver,
Yeah.
bronze. I think it
Yeah.
sways down.
Yeah.
Our starting
because
lineup.
there's a lot of people that don't.
I
play
think it
them.
might be Rift Sharks actually. If you go
Yeah,
by rank
because
aggregate.
we're 5.
You're all gold. You're
All
all
gold or
gold
higher.
and 1 emerald player.
Yeah.
You're all gold
What's
and like
Spectre's
3 emerald
at?
players.
Do we know Spectres? Hold
Say
on.
the Masters player's name. I don't think I will. You can't stop me, bro. What can I say?
Oh,
I don't
yeah.
know. They have a Masters player. I don't know who it is. Like I think Masters and
I'll go
Flex is a
here.
more
We have.
impressive achievement.
Wait, can someone
clearly.
check the Star versus Gold? Caesarius is Plats. They might have us beat.
Yeah.
Mythic unranked.
Brewer is
Brewer.
diamond, right?
Brewer is platinum.
Emerald
Diamond.
at the moment.
Oh, he is emerald at the moment. Okay.
And then who's the last player on the team? Avery is unranked.
Avery's like gold right now. Oh, okay.
Avery also doesn't play ranked.
Yeah, because he's
Yeah.
based.
Gold.
Giga Chad
No,
like that.
I'm with him. I played 1 game and I
It
had
might
gold
be
already, so I'm
Spectres.
done. Spectres.
The way God intended.
Mythic is silver, so I think that sways them to about.
I don't know if
equal.
they're actually
Are we
Masters
doing
right now.
peak rank or current rank?
End of season or like where they are at now, I think is probably good.
I feel like not a lot of people have played this like split, so
Yeah,
I feel
so
like end of season, so
end
it's
of
probably
season.
better. Yeah,
Probably this, like 2-3 them.
yeah, I could see that.
I don't know. I think this is probably just a bad way to rank it, to be honest.
Also, MVP
I
technically
agree.
have 3 Masters.
Yeah,
I guess
I think we
Silico is
give
in
up.
there too. Yeah, you're right.
Silico's a sub though.
Yeah, Silico's a sub. I think we're doing starting rosters.
Yeah. We should do off season. We should do off season moves. Who do we think had the best off season moves?
It's Meta Busters or Rift
let's-
Sharks. I'm
let's
sorry.
do,
I think
We'll do
Are
it.
they-
Upgrade to
well,
downgrade bar graph.
Andromeda had really good ones too. Actually,
Okay,
This is
we'll
kinda
say-
hard.
Andromeda got.
We'll put Andromeda
LP.
first. So to summarize, Andromeda. Let's not think about who people are losing as much as the combos that they're gaining, right? So we already have Stanley and Alana are the 2 that stayed, right? So you're keeping like a very solid core, and then you grab the bot lane from the highest team in the league, right? And then you grab Jonah, who was on the 5th place team. I won't say who the 5th place team was, but y'all can fill that one in.
Rift Sharks.
So I'd say
Slander,
that's like
boo.
75% towards upgrade, right? Because you're grabbing a really good bot duo and you're filling out with a player who looked solid on a bad team. But
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
What team we want to do next?
You
You
just
can do
put on the
Nutbusters
list.
next.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Nutbusters I think loses.
I think Nutbusters downgraded a little bit. I'm
Uh,
sorry.
I
Will.
think
hate to
not.
break it to you.
I
fair,
think
that's fair,
Nutbusters loses because they went from a team that was full synergy to a team that existed because of who was left. I think they have a lot that
Yeah.
they can build on, and I don't think that they're
Yeah.
necessarily like in the gutter.
I
But
think that we did pretty good for a team that just spontaneously combusted.
No,
I
agree.
agree with that.
Week and a half.
I
No,
think-
we're giving you full props, but it's just like I think you guys are kind of the leftover team. I'm sorry, dog. Someone had to be it, and it's you guys. So
And we're still.
Okay, I do have more power rankings
Yeah,
after
no, I
this,
agree.
so we'll go over it and then we can do those, and then once we get through them,
Okay.
I think we can split. Mason and I can have our time. All right, who are we doing next?
I think we should do Rift Sharks, and I think Rift Sharks is firmly in the upgrade category. They have a lot of the same players that stayed were all very solid.
We lose
Carries over from 2 seasons
Jonah
ago.
and Teely, who I think
They
we're
performed
definitely right, but I think we had some synergy problems internally. I can speak. I
Yeah.
think the shot calling was not, we weren't all on the same page for whichever reason. I don't know who was right, who was wrong, but what was going on. We pick up Hong and Ann, which I don't know. I feel like those players are historically very consistent, have been on a lot of good and bad teams, and haven't really looked terrible on any of them. We're able to grab Taxi, first team all Scrims mid laner, which I think is really huge. And we were able to bring Dash on,
Hidiri.
obviously debate on whether that even counts or not, but
Don't forget my boy Hidiri.
Hidiri, I was just about to say, I think was a really good grab, and I think we were able to work with him over time. Either him or Taxi were one of the first people we practiced with, like way back. So I think we've had a lot of time to kind of work together as a team. And then, surely I'm not forgetting anybody. That would be really embarrassing.
And right, by the way, he says no way you're saying or she's saying no way I'm consistently dead. Very true. Sorry, had to drop a little Ant slander. You understand? I'm Ant's number one op, so they improve. That's simple as, bro.
I think I listed everybody. If I didn't, I feel really bad. But I think we kept 5, got 5 new ones, and I think I mentioned 5 new people. So I'm gonna call that good. Metabusters, I will say, oh my God, stay winning! Like holy shit!
Big upgrade.
I think next to us, right there at the top. I don't know. I was talking to Noam a lot. I had a roster in mind that I thought was gonna happen. This isn't it, but it's almost better. So
I think us having a shot caller who is not me is the biggest upgrade we could have gotten.
Maybe true. Maybe true.
Bro, I like Honen's comms personally.
Silico, if you're listening, just because I was the captain does not mean I need to shot call.
PV is like my number one hater right now. I don't know what I did to PV, bro. Bro, what happened? I thought we were homies, bro. I spent the entire last season gassing you up, bro. Come on, bro. I get no credit for that. My bad, bro. Sorry. Won't happen again.
Again, no,
Yes,
a
gotta have,
little
like, a
sad that
box
that never
match
came
or
together, but I think the availability for that roster would have been piped. So I completely understand. Anyway, Spectres, I want to put as an upgrade, but like very tentative, like slight upgrade, because I think you're
It's
losing.
like a net neutral, I think. For
Right,
sure.
you're losing a lot because the Rex Hong, like crazy swaps that were going on were really interesting. And I really liked the Caesarius Hong bot lane. I get that there were some synergy issues there at the end. I think it kind of blew up a little bit, but
I think it was purely tornado gap. I'm not gonna lie, but
yeah.
I think that's a different conversation. I think this team has like the most synergy points. Like these players have all played together for a little bit. They know each other pretty well, and I think the lack of tornado gap this season, hopefully, I actually think they'll be pretty good competitors. I'm excited to watch them play.
Unfortunately, that's not an off-season change, so I can't account for it.
That's true. That's true. But like, we're gonna okay. In my mind, their points are a little deflated, so we're gonna like.
No.
adjust for that. That's all.
Sarvers is OP in fall because there's fewer tornadoes in the winter. I think, right? Yes.
Weather status baits point ranking.
Okay, and then MVP, I want to say hard downgrade personally.
I think it's
maybe
slight
not.
downgrade. I don't know if it's hard.
Not as big.
I'm obligated to say downgrade.
Right. I don't know. I think you have so many roster pieces. Like, I think if you reach out to Will and Jackson right away and like just say, you guys are a huge reason of why we won, and just hard chill, then you get to keep the core that I feel like put them in a really good spot. And now Jackson's ended up as a sub, which, to be fair, was probably going to happen anyway because I think he's moving and doing more pilot school stuff, which is super cool, by the way. Like, shout out Jackson. I feel like he has a really cool like career path. Just personally, I think it's really interesting. But I think losing Will is like actually a tragedy. Like, you get Liz, which is good, but just I don't know. I feel like they had a lot going on with like rosters and stuff, and like also like losing Steve, I think is really unfortunate as well. I feel like when Steve was subbing in, you had a lot going on. And Silico, I think, is a good pickup as well. And Psycho Carry is obviously fun too. But I just think that a lot of what made MVP like such a huge threat last season and what made them like kind of sleeper and then pull ahead at the end, like Will up here in the mental department, fantastic, amazing. I would say I have a part of it. I should talk him because I know he could do way better than he was doing at the beginning of the season, and he fucking proved my ass right, which makes me really happy, to be honest. But I think you lose so much when you don't have Will on that team anymore. So I think it is a downgrade, even though I do like their roster, which you'll see reflected in my power rankings. But I think you have an MVP. Well, I guess that's the team, but you have the finals MVP, you win finals, and then he's not on your team anymore. And I don't know. It's not like you were opposed to staying on the team, right, Will? Like,
No, I would have. I would have re-signed early, but there was some iffy stuff going on, so I did not.
Yep. So I don't know. Fumbling the bag. I hope Will gets to clap back at least. I want to see NYMB 2-0 obliteration of MVP at some point this season. That would make me so happy. I just love the story arcs personally.
It'll happen the first match.
I
Yeah,
believe
yeah,
it.
lovely
2-0
talk.
the first match.
Yes, sir. It'll happen.
I believe it. I believe it.
All right, I am going to delete these real quick, and then we can move on. For some reason,
Blast
just
Power
hitting
Rankings?
delete does
Alright.
not. Yeah, I have a couple more coming in from
Yeah.
anonymous players. Cam actually gave
I
me
feel
his
like we can just.
full one. Maybe we'll have to see.
I
It's
feel
probably
like
a
we
bunch of
can
line
just give
breaks
the
again.
names. No.
Yeah, why
I
not?
mean,
Expose them. You already had
Yeah.
one exposed. Just expose the other.
exactly. Not even you remember this happening. Psycho Carrots going to VSP to GCP forever ago. Got the neuralizer. Bro's right. Season 1 was too
What?
long ago. Bring this back.
Season 1 wasn't real, bro.
Dude, season
Don't-
1 was
don't cap
amazing.
yourself.
Are you telling me that
Season 1 was a fucking
two
fever dream.
teams in one player can't just disappear in the middle of the season and you still have a banger way to end? And like those playoffs had some highlight reels, baby. Like that was fun. I don't know.
Season
I
one was
still think
crazy
like
ass season,
top
bro.
scrims plays of all time, like Peter double pentakill in semis. That was nuts. That was such a good one. Okay. Mr. Player 3. They said that these rankings were done on how confident they were on team synergy and that the teams would continue to play together well throughout the season. Triple TBH, anyone could be the best. So I think that's fair. Obviously, with that being the justification, Spectres goes at the top. Duh.
Yeah.
Metabuster's up there as well. That's because we have my jungler and my mid laner together on the same team, as well as Garrett
God.
Cappy, and then Noam obviously just plays in the server a lot, so he's going to have good synergy with everyone. I think this is pretty self-explanatory. Rift Sharks is there next. I think for similar reasons. We kept 3 people that we've had literally 3 seasons in a row. I think that's pretty good. But we are creating a huge swap out in the middle, and I think Stanley has already discussed these swapping in and out roster moves that could cause some friction. Andromeda is down there even lower. I think there is a big point here to be made because you do have Alana and Jonah on the top side who obviously have been playing a lot of rank together and have synergy there. And you have Alex and PB who have been playing a lot. But then it's like you kind of have Stanley and then you have the 2 duos around him. It's how well do you think they're going to fit? Stanley, obviously you're going to have some opinions on this, but I think that's probably the school of thought going into it. I personally would probably put, in terms of synergy, I'd put them a bit higher just because I know they, like us, have been a team that's practicing a lot. But I think we have that in these 4 teams at the top, so maybe I'm just wrong. These are the 4 teams that, at least to our knowledge, have been practicing quite a bit. MVP is 5th. I think going off the same thing, I don't actually know who invited Liz into the server. I thought it was Valor, but I think it's not based on just
Aya.
chats.
It's
I think it's Aya, yeah.
Okay, so cool. Then never mind. That actually fits in really well. So I would actually put them higher just based on that because the 5 of them all know each other beforehand. But
Yeah.
is what it is. And then that would leave NYNB at the bottom, which I think is pretty obvious. They just have had less time to have synergy.
Sorry, well,
but-
your team's getting dragged, bro.
Yeah,
It
It
will
happens,
still.
bro.
It doesn't matter because we'll
Right.
prove everybody wrong like always.
Yeah.
I
of
mean,
course.
Will
'Cause
do
you're
the
my
same
guy.
thing you
Standard
did last
operating
season, where you
procedure.
scraped and you just. like-
Standard operating procedure, man.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I think based on the criteria for that power ranking, it's pretty good. I would just say MVP probably goes a bit higher, but it's tough. I feel like these teams have all had a lot more synergy than we've seen in previous seasons. Okay, and then this is real funny. So we call out the list and say it's lazy, and we get this. So
Yeah.
that's cool. Rift Sharks at the bottom, Metabuster's on top. Okay. Surely I won't
like
call
this
this list
list.
trash anyway. Puts
I
us
like this
under NYNB.
Ooh, I really like this list.
Andromeda goes here.
Oh,
Spectres.
wait, no. That's
in
fifth. I
third,
thought it was second.
and then MVP at the top. No.
No,
So
I don't like this list.
this one, there's actually no explanation tied into it. I actually have no clue what the justification is. I assume the top 5 parts of the list are legit, and the Rift Sharks is thrown at the bottom just to like say fuck you because I call this list trash. But I mean, maybe he thinks we just suck ass. Maybe he's in the Noam school of thought of Eric and me are just complete garbage. Whatever. Anyway, MVP at the top. I think this is a team that people are sleeping on. Obviously, we've seen some of those like Colin, other power rankings have them put up pretty high. I think there are a few talking points here that I will cover later. Spectres third seems to be a pretty heavy consensus. Like everyone's putting them
Third,
around an
fourth
average
range.
of third. We have like a second, third, fourth, first, sixth. Like that's like kind of averages out around that department in that second or third area. Andromeda in fourth. I think again that's one that's where people are generally putting this team. It kind of averages out to be that place. I'll agree with New York Nutbusters. I think a lot of the reasons for these three teams have already been covered because they're generally where they are. And I don't know. Stanley and Noam had me all the way down at the bottom, so we can just assume this is tacked on there too. So they're cooking something up the back. The admins clearly know something about my team that I don't. So I suck. I don't know. Maybe it's just like
Yeah,
an
the
inner
Dean
hate.
Wash allegations.
We are the hand.
I
that
vetoed
bleeds
like
from
one
shadows.
too many of your ideas, and you're like, he sucks. He's fucking garbage. He's terrible.
Oh, I hate that guy.
Shadow
Right.
government is going to act now.
But I don't know.
Thumbs up.
It's what it is. And I think that is our hour available with Captain. So Mason and I will probably like to take our time now. But we appreciate you guys hopping on. It's great to have
a little
people on the
fun.
podcast. Valor was sad he couldn't make it. He said it's a bit late for him today. So
Tragic.
Yeah, gotcha. Unfortunate.
yeah,
about
shout
it.
out Valor though. I feel like he's built a pretty cool team.
Yep.
But yeah, I will.
Captain.
One thing about MVP, I hope they are more active in the server than they were last season. I feel like
Agreed.
for a team that had a really cool narrative arc like they did, I would have liked to see some more banter in the season
Banter.
discussion. Aya has been doing really well about this. I've seen a lot of shit talking coming out from that angle. Not even shit talking, just friendly banter, fun to have
TikTok
around.
is the best kind
So
of talk.
that's true. But yeah, I am excited to hear more from them. Hopefully. But goodbye, Noam. Goodbye, Will. Thank you for hopping on.
Bye-bye.
Very
Bye,
much
Stanley.
appreciate it.
Bye,
Bye, Stanley.
Stanley.
It's hard to have you because I don't see you. But anyway,
Bye.
I'll talk to y'all later. Bye bye.
See ya.
All right.
All right.
All right. Let's do the what they call the Travis Gafford special, where we go and talk about every single player of every single team.
I'm down for that, honestly.
Because yeah, I think that would probably provide.
do you want to do
most
do
insight
power
here.
rankings first? Actually, we should probably knock this out real quick.
Are you saying we need to like let them?
Yeah.
Let,
we
let
get
them
out of
reach
the
the
call.
climax.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then we just fucking yoink this shit. Yeah,
Are you going first? I think you have your set in
go
stone.
first.
I
No,
still
mine-
I don't have mine yet. I have an idea, but I
mine's
haven't
kind of
decided.
close. Okay.
Wait, do we want to do what we did last time, where we like alternate? Or
Sure.
did we do that last
We can
time?
do that.
Am I just making this up?
I have no idea.
I think I'm
I have no
completely
idea.
making this up.
Well, I don't care.
Guys,
I will
don't look
say
it up.
I'm
We
going-
did this last time too.
I am going to be one of the people. I don't think I'm gonna have my team in first. It's not a faith thing. It's just a, in my opinion,
Well,
thing.
yeah, we are podcast individuals, so we must be honest and unbiased. That's like the media
Surely,
rule or
surely
whatever.
surely that's what we have to do. I think in first. Can we do ties? Because I really want to put Andromeda and
No.
fucking Metabusters in the same one. If
You
I
gotta
have,
pick.
okay, if I have to pick, I will just pick Metabusters.
Well, no,
first,
but
then
if
never mind.
if you don't pick, then you have to have the wrong score will not work on you. So you're putting
I'm gonna
Metabusters
put
first,
Metabusters.
and then
I'll put
Andromeda.
Metabusters first.
All right.
Andromeda second. Yeah.
Give me the justifications.
I think people are sleeping on PV. I know me and him have bantered quite a bit, but I respect him a lot as a support player. I think Jonah is a kind of player where you can, if you have someone to sit there and like puppet him, kind of thing, he will perform pretty well. I think PV actually did that really well with Mike. You saw a lot of it with like the 3-man invades they did. A lot of early season stuff. They were playing like Caitlyn with Prio and like engaged Prio supports that you can like just jump on the enemy jungler on, and then I think this is like a role that Jonah hasn't really filled, but he does have like more of the pick junglers like Vi, champions that you can like engage with like a support with and just go in on one person in the enemy jungle.
That's what we did last season.
And like, I think that could really work out for them, especially if PB is like, he does have access to the Rel. This champion's still really good. His Leona's really nasty. Like, he has a lot of really good tank picks, and I think him and Jonah pair up really well. I think Alana is our weak side, our resident weak side player. I think she is like the best weak side player we've seen so far. I think Noam is still a little shaky in the top lane, but I think she has shown that if you put her on Mordekaiser, if you put her on Sejuani, even if you put her on Alawi, stuff like this, she will do okay, and she will hold her own versus some of the better top laners and just try not to bleed. And I think Stanley as a player has just, I think he has managed to fit a lot more styles than people give him credit for. He has like the Gwen mid and stuff like that, these interesting different picks when his mages get banned out. His mage play is still really good, but I think if he improves on like some of his vision setups and stuff, this team is really lethal, and I think a lot of people are kind of sleeping on them, in my opinion. But these are like my first two.
I will do
Meta Busters. Do you want me to finish Meta Busters first? Or
Yeah,
you
go
want to
ahead. Go ahead.
I think me and Cam, I think our mid jungle is really good. There's like a lot of flex potential. I'm really excited to see us work together as a team. No one's gonna have to be our weak side warrior. We'll see how it goes. I'm not the biggest believer yet, but we'll have to see how it goes. I think Kathy and Garrett are like super good, but they are definitely some of like the weaker players in terms of points and stuff. So we'll have to see how it goes. But yeah, I'm pretty excited to play with my team. My team looks really fun. We have Thomas and Joey as subs. Joey was pretty good, weak side king as well.
Jacob being permanently slept on, bro.
Oh, Jacob's also there, I suppose. We'll have to see how that works out. Sorry, Jacob. My bad, bro.
Oh my god. Okay,
but yeah, those are my top two for now.
Okay, as I said, I'm gonna do the unbiased rankings. What I'm actually gonna do, which I think will be a little fun, is I'm gonna take the teams that you list, and I'm gonna put them where I think they should go. So you name Metabusters first. I kind of hate to do this because I feel like we have a good read on how your team works, and I think we can figure it out. The question is, will everyone figure out how to beat Metabusters? And honestly, I don't think so. I think people tend to see red when they see certain players on your team, or do the opposite. They have their blinders on. They don't even see the threats that are on different aspects of your team. And I think it's going to be, at least for the regular season, I think maybe in playoffs it's different when people have to really kind of dive deep at a specific team for a whole week when they know who they're playing, and they have more chances to kind of take you down. But I think you guys are probably going to end up winning regular season. I think we're going to see a last to first kind of comeback. I think it's going to be really exciting. There's no one that's on your team that I have like any sort of gripes about. Like I feel like everyone's a really solid player, which is really scary. Andromeda, I'm actually going to disagree with you a little bit. I'm going to put them 5th is what I have.
Oh my god!
Or no, 4th.
Fifth?
4th.
That's 4th, brother.
Fourth.
Ooh, okay.
Sorry, they both start with so you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I think Andromeda, I saw the roster initially, and I wasn't super sure. I see a lot of synergy. I'm kind of with the take earlier where I'm not really sure how the cohesion's going to go along. I think besides our team, I think they have the strongest bot lane in the league. I think it really depends on what bot lane we're running, actually. They could have a stronger or weaker bot lane than us. I think it really depends. If we sub in Hong and Eric, then we probably have the strongest bot lane in the league. Because obviously I am worse than Hong Baba. I will say that there. But I think
on which Hong is playing.
Right. I think us two at the top. I was talking to my team earlier today, and I think that's the only team where if I'm playing into them and I'm not like a huge part of why our team is playing the way we are in the game, I think that I'm doing something wrong. I think that's the only team where I can't say that. So I think they're pretty scary. And obviously Alana and Jonah play together. I think something that was hurting Andromeda and Rift Sharks last season is that it was hard to get our team together to play. And I think Andromeda will not have that issue anymore, as evidenced by the Andromeda practices. And I think Stanley is honestly a really good captain, and I'm excited to see what he does with the team. I think there's some road bumps that they're going to need to get around, and I think they are a little bit more figured out than some of these other teams that are bringing in some new players. I think the fact that we saw all of these players play a lot last season, we've kind of figured out some of the weak spots, and we haven't seen changes to the roster that necessarily take those away, so there is going to be some inherent knowledge advantage going into this team beforehand.
Okay. All right.
You don't have to go in order, but
I'm gonna go in order.
okay.
I'm thinking. I think my list is gonna look very similar to Noam's,
Which we
but
knew.
I do think it is still Spectre's 3rd. I think people underestimate the damage the tornado gap actually did to that team's mental last season. As a person who was on that team, that team just fucking exploded after that. And I think people underestimate how dominant Sarverus was in the first half of the season. Him and Rex pairing up as a jungle duo, him and Ann fucking lethal every game. And I think people were really sleeping on that, and I'm really excited to see how him and Caesarius shake out. I think Sarverus is actually going bot lane, right?
I believe so. I will stop you real quick for the podcast listeners. Whenever you lean back and forth in your chair, we can hear it on the mic.
Okay.
So if you sit still, that might be better for people trying to listen to you. But
Okay. I think Caesarius as a jungler, he was a little solved when it came to like a couple weeks ago. Like his Ivern was by far his best jungler, and everything else looked a little shaky. So I'm curious to see how that jungle pool will flush out. But I think him and Brewer, it's sort of like the opposite of like Rex and Sarverus, where Rex was more of like the carry style jungler. I think Caesarius will try to play more for Brewer mid, and I think that's a really lethal duo that people are sleeping on. Sarverus and Mythic bot lane, I think that's the bot lane, right?
Yeah.
That should be a really strong ADC support duo. I think we saw a little bit of Sarverus's AD carry in some of like the earlier sign-up games, and I think he looked really good. Like he was pretty dominant in a lot of them that he played. And Avery, my weak side goat, I haven't talked to him in forever, but I think him being super underrated in terms of like being able to play the strong side, being able to play weak side, like he was doing it all, and I think we utilized that sort of flex really well. And I'm curious to see if he'll still be able to carry that kind of stuff over. So I'm excited to watch this team.
Yeah. I'm going to go ahead and agree with you. I'm going to put Spectres at second, actually. This is a really tough call for me. I feel like the top three was really hard for me to pick. Not revealing the next team until you reveal it, obviously. But I don't know. Spectres could go first, could go second. I think my one fear is that some of these players on these role swaps are a bit one-dimensional, and that they could be easier to figure out than some of these other teams that I think have more to them. But if Spectres is just that much better than everyone else, then I think it's going to be really hard to contest with them. But regardless, I think this team's going to be really fun to watch. I think it's just a matter of can people figure out how to play with them, because I think, as Will was saying earlier, there's a lot of unknown to that team. And it's just a matter of can people adapt to it or not, and how good are these like question marks that we have in regards to this team.
Okay. I think fourth, I am not as much of a Rift Sharks hater as Noam is. I will go ahead and slot Rift Sharks here. I think Eric and Dean has a bot lane duo, has been tried and true for 3 seasons straight. I think they were arguably second best bot lane last season behind Alex and PB. I think it took until playoffs before MVP really started leveling up and started Will and Aya finally found like their synergy points and stuff like that. I think this bot lane has like historically always been a little slept on. Like people think that they're like really easy to roll over. They're clearly not. Like they've proven that they can play together super well. They play like a lot of different styles as well. Dean plays like the Kalista, the more aggressive AD carries, and he can play the hyper carries as well. So I think people sleep on their bot lane a lot. And I am curious to see how Hadiri really transfers into this team. I know they have to do some funky role swaps if they put in Hadiri, but he was playing pretty well.
It's not role swaps, it's just different players, I think.
Yeah. Joel, my tried and true goat. I love you, man. Shout out to you. One of my favorite top laners to play with, but I think he has a pretty decent pool, except that it's a little solved. But if anything, Dean has proven that he can draft around stuff like that pretty simply. So I don't think solved champion pools are as hard to play with as people make it out to be. And I think Taxi is an upgrade over Healy in terms of mid lane champion pool as well. Healy is a bit hit or miss in terms of a player. I love my goat. I love my friend, but he can be a little whiffy at times. And so I think Taxi is just a strict consistency upgrade, even though he's stuck in Emerald low. I'm excited to see how this team shakes out. I think Ann in for Jonah is a pretty equivalent sum exchange as well. I think Ann picking up the Udyr as like a consistent champion has been proven to be really good for him on last season in Spectres, and I think I think the player is just like really good on the Udyr and stuff like that. So we'll have to see what sort of champions they and what kind of playstyle they shake out with. So I think they're comfortably in fourth here for me.
Okay. Well, I'm going to disagree with you only a little bit. Our top four are the same, so I guess that's kind of
Yeah.
boring. Bedge, probably our bottom is going to be the same as well. Um, well, I mean the order of the bottom, not obviously the same two teams are going to be on the bottom, but
Yeah.
um, I'm putting Rift Sharks a bit higher, just because I think
Okay.
some of the issues that you pointed out, I think, are things that we've been working on a lot in
Yeah.
the off season, and I think we have a lot of players on our team that are, I would say, not happy about the fact that we ended up fifth last season.
They're
I would
hungry to
say,
win, bro.
right, I would say with a couple of exceptions of people who are just busy during the off season. Obviously, I think we are all missing a bit of Michael in our lives. He's been traveling a lot with his family, I think,
Listen,
which
bro.
has been really
Yeah.
fun. And Eric has been putting in the hours at a job, so hasn't had too much time. But I would say me, Drago, and Joel have all been putting in a lot more work than we did in the previous season. I think we've all been seeing really good results. So I think that's something that we can't sleep on. And all of our new additions, I think, have been putting in a lot of work,
Yeah.
with the exception of Hong, because he's Ohio gapped and has a new job. But Hong is
Yeah.
Hong. Like, I don't think there's much to say there. And I also think
Yeah.
he's not going to be playing too many games, just because that's what he's given me the impression that is best for him. And Ohio ping is not where we'll see him shine his best. But I mean, my hope in grabbing Hong was to carry him to a title in his last Scrim season. So we will see if that
I think
happens.
he could offer some like insight into like knowledge as well.
Yeah.
I think the high point player who just chills on the team for fun is kind of underrated.
Oh yeah. You
This is
surely
me
you would
gassing
know. You
myself
know
up a
nothing
little
about
bit.
this.
But like I think just having someone who's willing to like talk about the game at like a different level is like kind of good for like a lot of teams. Just like it like rubs off a little bit. But back to like our points. For fifth, I am actually gonna put New York Nutbusters in fifth
Okay.
over MVP. I as much as I shit on Zach, I think he is a decent player in regular season. Like he's proven that he can play a lot of different styles. Has played like a lot of supportive mids when you saw him play with Cam. His Kiana and his Katarina, if you can, I think it tends to fall off in terms of like macro late game. But I think if you can get him to a position with like a lead, he is kind of nasty on those two champions, and it's not to be underestimated. I am curious as to see how Mike will adapt to this type of team, though. I feel like with the pieces that they have around on Nutbusters, it's kind of hard for him to play like a aggressive jungler unless you put like Russ in for topside, and then you kind of have a really predictable draft. But I think that could work out for them. Will Mimi bot lane? Mimi coming out of retirement. That should be really fun to watch. I'm actually really hyped for that one. She's been pretty underrated as a player overall, I think. Pretty good weak side support player. I think Will can do pretty well with like hyper carries and like stuff like that. We'll have to see how he shakes out. But I think this team is a little bit better than Mass Valor and Pirates, only because I think MVP's top side is going to be a bit of a struggle. Aya switching to a new role. Their top laner is pretty new to the server and also I think new to the game, right?
Yes. Yep. Low level.
And so I am curious to see how they adapt for that. Liz is like a decent support player, but I do think she's a little outclassed because support is like a pretty good role this season, I think. A lot of the teams have really good support players like BB and Eric and stuff like that. So I do have this team as sixth. I think my 4, 5, 6 is a lot more flexible than it seems, though. I think these three teams could move around a lot, and I think they all have potential to crack in the top 3. Like these are like really close teams, IMO, and I'm curious to see how they play out.
Dude, you got me looking like the Mr. Incredible meme. You say that I could end up anywhere in the bottom 3, and I go though. But then you say I could crack into the top 3. Very happy. Okay, we did actually have different order for the bottom. I have to heavily caveat these placements for these two teams because it's really tough to place anyone this season. I think last season it was. I mean, obviously we got it wrong, but it felt a lot easier to place teams above or below one another. Whereas this is what I was kind of talking about at the beginning, where is this rock paper scissors element going on, where I feel like any team could really beat any other team, or each team has a few teams that they could beat. and each team has a few teams that they're probably always going to lose to. So we might actually get to see the Circle of Suck completed this season. I was very sad that we didn't get to see it last season.
It was close though.
It
was
was.
close.
It was really close. All we needed is Metabusters to kick someone's ass, but unfortunately, it did not happen. If they beat MVP, then it does happen because they beat MVP. MVP beats Nutbusters. Nutbusters beats whoever, and then you can kind of figure it out from there. But anyway, I think New York Nutbusters is going to be the team, no matter what, who improves the most over the course of the season. I think it's going to be really similar to Will's team last season, where MVP improved a lot, and I think it's going to be a very similar vibe to how Metabusters improved throughout the season last season, where they start off a little rough. They probably don't have a clear identity, where I guess Metabusters had an identity. It just wasn't like a good identity. Like, identity is we're going to try some crazy shit, and it wasn't necessarily crazy shit in a productive way. But then they really pulled it together, and I felt like that was really good. And I think New York Nutbusters is going to end up doing something really similar, where they find some strengths in their team comp, and they're able to kind of flesh things out throughout the season. I think there's a lot of potential in there. I think aggressive jungler with two really strong solo lanes is a really good combo, especially when you have two bot lane character people. They're people. Players.
Sure?
Oh my
You don't
god,
sound too
it's
sure
so
about
hard
that
to
one,
talk. I think my my Noam roast earlier is getting to me a little bit. I'm also really hungry. You have two great players that have been in the server a very long time, know how to play weak side, just know the bot lanes of these players so well. Will has played with so many people on these other teams, is going to have a read on how these bot lanes play. And I think Will and Mimi together are going to be able to kind of survive these bot lanes and will add a lot to their team later in the game, especially with the very synergistic champion pools. As you mentioned, Michaela likes to play a lot of weak side champions. See, both of them are confused. Like, I think Darius is at the keyboard playing Will. Like, I clearly don't understand anything. But anyway, Michaela plays a lot of weak side champions, and Will plays a lot of hyper carries, which innately those two are going to go really well together. I think it's just a question of how do you distribute the resources on that team, and if it's going to end up doing what you think it's going to do, because obviously you can play for top side a lot, but then maybe bot side gets slammed. And I think it's going to be all really meta dependent, which lanes are good, which champions you have in the draft, and it's just a question of can these players, who a lot of them are like solo queue gods up in the top lane, it's a question of can they adapt to the macro sense that you're going to need to figure out how to allocate resources on this team, which I think is going to be really interesting. MVP, I think, is a lot more linear on where they're going to end up in this power rankings. I said 5 because it's a fucking guess. I don't know. I think the one team that you could take on this and move them around anywhere is going to be MVP. I think my ranking of the other 5 teams, at least overall, is going to remain accurate. I just don't know where MVP slots in, because I think it all comes down to how quick Puza can learn the game and how quick the rest of his team can adapt to having a newer player in the top side. Because it seems like, as of right now, a lot of people have figured out how to exploit his smaller champion pool and like unfamiliarity with the game overall. But as he's shown, he's a trooper. He will play the same thing over and over again. He's willing to learn, willing to improve. I think a lot of people, if you show up, have a few rough performances early on, you're likely to just quit and give up on the game. So I think the fact that he's still here playing with us, I think shows a lot, and I'm really excited to see how he's going to be able to improve over the course of the season. And if them as a unit of 5 learn how to play around that style, it could be over. Because as a lot of people say, top lane is an island, probably the least impact role in the game right now. So if you're able to not let the opposing top laner have a lot of impact, which there's a lot of different ways to do, I think that completely changes how strong this team is. And I think it's going to be up to the other team to not see potentially a weaker start for this team and then just ignore them. Because I think if you do that and you don't continue game planning on how to keep MVP down on the standings, they're going to come back and kick your ass just like they did last season, which is also kind of what they did. Or actually, never mind. They fucking smashed Frostbite the whole time. So I don't know what I'm talking about. But I just see the narrative lines. I see the silk spider webs of the plot, and I go, let's just go on this one. And then sometimes I talk, and I'm like, this is actually not true at all. But anyway, similar to last season, I think we're going to see a resurgence of MVP in the later half of the season. I just think we need to keep our eyes on this team and make sure that we don't go, oh, well, we can beat MVP. People are putting them low on the ladder. I think they are going to be a veritable threat. So, I don't know. I think they could slot 3rd. I think they could slot 4th. I think they could slot 5th. I don't know. I feel it's hard to put Andromeda down on 5th, and I obviously would like to keep my team in 3rd. So those are why I put the
I think
rankings I
that's
did.
cool,
But
okay. I respect that.
I don't know. Wait, which Cope for which?
Red Sharks in 3rd.
I said
think
I personally would not like it. I didn't say
Yeah. That's Cove, isn't it?
Well, yes, but it's admitted Cope. Like, you're not calling me out for
Okay.
anything.
I'm not. It's
I don't
just
know.
I'm saying you're coping. That's all.
I also think we're pretty good. I think a couple of the teams.
I agree.
I think some of the new players we added, like either the 2 lineups we have a very good shot caller that's complementing the comms of me and Eric in the bot lane. Because we are the focus for our team a lot, and we get focused quite a bit. I think sometimes it's hard for us to be that voice in shot calling, and I think something we struggled with previously was not having that much of a voice, but that problem does not exist anymore, and I think that's going to help us a lot. There's a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff that it's really hard to keep an eye out for on teams, and I think that is definitely one of them. But yeah, I think we can go over players. Hopefully, my wrong score is pretty high. I wouldn't be surprised, so I'll take it if Mason has better predicts than me, but I think mine are going to be more accurate, but I don't think they're going to be very accurate, and I would hope that they are not. So,
Okay.
I don't know. All right, I will cut this, and we can just skim over some players. Just anyone that we feel like we didn't spotlight out enough previously. I do want to eat at some point, so
let's go.
Let's
like
maybe
40
not
minutes.
do a full 2 hours. Maybe we can do hour 30, hour 35. Hour 30 does not is enough time, but
I think hour 40 might be good. Thoughts?
okay. Yeah, I mean,
Like
I forget
10
when we
minutes?
started, but
Yeah.
we have another 14. So yeah, I think that's doable.
that works.
Somewhere in the hour 30, hour 40.
Yeah.
Okay. Alana, I think we can start off with. I think we mentioned all the points. Stays on the same team. Very solid weak side performance. I think kind of goes hand in hand with Stanley. Very solid solo lanes. You know what you're getting every game. Really nothing bad to say. I think her champion pool has been increasing over time too, which is always good. Would you like to see Stanley? That is definitely true. We've seen some more Syndra, and as Nico gets stronger, Nico's gonna get brought back. We're gonna get to see.
I want to see him play the Gwen mid. Stanley, if you're listening, the Gwen mid. Bring it out.
I
Make
believe
Jonah
that
play
is a
Ivern.
champion in both of their pools, so that could be something fun as well. Jonah, Shyvana buffs are definitely helping Jonah here. Maybe he will play Lilia, and we won't have to like beg him to play Lilia. I think that's a good champion for him, but I don't know. I think Jonah's pretty fun. Obviously, I'm biased. I had him on my team. I clearly like him at least a little bit.
At least a little bit.
Well, I mean, anyone who's on my team, I like at least a little bit. I like Jonah more than a little bit because I begged for him to be on my team last season. But no, I think he's fun, and I think there is synergy on that team. He's another one of those players who plays a lot, so knows other people well, which I think helps. And then Alex and PB, I think we talked about enough here.
Yeah.
I think we should shout out Alex. I think it's a lot of PB-focused discussion, but I think Alex is a very good player. I've heard some discussion around him on the offseason that I think is underselling him, so I think some people should.
He deserves a shout out. I think PB has been performing, and I just like to shout out good support players. So
I think
but he has been for sure a good player.
I may be wrong on this, but I think Alex is the one who swung up the highest in points in the offseason.
Yeah, for
So,
sure. I can see that.
I don't know. I think there's been a lot of improvement, and I think because of like the climb to diamond from all the other players on his team, people don't talk about him enough, and I think that's a little BS. But D, I did mention earlier, but I feel like has definitely improved since the last time we saw D. Has definitely gone up a few points since then. Has improved, and Healy I think goes in the same boat as Jonah. Has a lot of potential. I think wasn't the right fit for our team, but I think both of them can do very well in this new environment.
Yeah.
All right, MVP. Talk to death about everyone here except for Heroic, but Heroic is playing a role that he swapped to towards the end of that previous season, and he looked way better in it. So
yeah, Heroic. I don't think we really need to upsell him a little too much. Definitely was a very solid carry pairing up with Valor's jungle last season, and I think him and Aya, the both Masters level players, having this mid jungle combo is going to be a little lethal, and I'm curious to see.
Bro's Borders Villager low. I mean, who knows how updated these are. It is a little bugged at the moment if you're looking at general chat.
And like, it's a new split. People haven't played yet. So I'm mostly going off last season's rankings. So we'll have to see how it goes. But definitely a mid-jungle duo to watch out for. this team does just look pretty scary on paper as well. So
Yeah. Silico and Jackson, I think, are players that we might not get to see much. Both of them are pretty busy people in general.
schedule
But
gaps.
I think either of them slotting in and getting some playtime on this team are going to be really exciting. Both of them I really enjoyed watching last season. I think Jackson is really flexible, can play any of the topside roles, and I believe he's played some of the bot
At a
lane as
decent level,
well,
yeah.
but I don't know. I think he's a really good sub and adds a lot of value to this team. And I believe Jackson and Silico can go in exchange for either Aya or Heroic, or I don't think Valor. But if you take out Puza,
I think there's some combination.
Puza and one of those two, I think then you can swap in Silico and Jackson, which I think is really interesting. And Psycho Carrot, I don't want to say most slept on player in the server because people aren't sleeping. They're like actively hating. I don't understand it. Bro is so much better than you think he is, and I cannot reiterate this enough. Everyone just hates him because he says some crazy ass takes, but he knows they're crazy ass takes. That's the whole point. You gotta just wake up, open your eyes.
Hold on. In my defense, I have been on both sides of the Psycho Carrot hate train. I am currently in the stance where I think he is a good player. He just needs to relax a little bit sometimes with the takes. That's literally it. Like, genuinely, if you watch him play, I think he's like decent, and he plays like a very unique support pool. So I think that those are things that you can use on the team. It's just you simply must play around it. TM. So I'm curious if they ever do something, man. That should be hype to watch.
I also am just gonna click around real quick. Heroic also has jungle listed in his roles, so we could see this. We could also see this. This is something that we saw later. So there is a lot of role swapping that's possible on this team. I think just because they're starting out in this orientation, just like last season, does not mean they're going to end there. So if something goes wrong, I would not be surprised to see some switching up. Which I did want to point out. I don't know. If you have anything about my team, go ahead and say it. I also think
your
I
team looks
skipped
fine.
a few teams. I don't know how I managed that one.
You skipped Meta Busters and New York
We'll go back.
Busters.
I just clicked where my mouse was, but if you have anything to say about my team, you can.
Honestly, there's nothing really to say. I think I've talked to your team to death already. Hidiri's a decent upgrade to Jonah, I think. And Dash are probably like similar level to Jonah, but I feel like the pools they have are like a little more complementary to like what you want to do here. It's just like champions that can help enable you as a carry and Taxi like as a secondary carry. That's kind of the style we played when I was playing a little bit. But I think it should work decently for the players you've drafted. I'm pretty excited to watch this team. I did play some fourth. I think they could easily crack top 3 or bottom out in 5 or 6. We'll have to see, honestly. But yeah, I'm excited for this team.
Okay. I think there is actually a compilation of all the ratings. So I think we'll go over that at the end. It's like a average rating of everyone, which I think is neat.
I think Jacob posted it. Yeah. It looked really cool.
Metabusters, I think we went over everyone who's playing. Jacob, I feel like, I don't know. Jacob, message to you. Honestly, I think you play really well. You just need to talk a little less. Like, I think that is actually the answer.
It's the Psycho Carrot thing. That's the exact same thing I told Psycho
Carrot does not talk as much in game. Like, Jacob...
No, he talks in game!
Not in, like, games where he's trying and focusing a lot. I think. I don't know.
So he just never focuses in my games. What the fuck? Psycho Carrot, I'm coming to your house, bro. What the fuck?
Okay. Well, anyway, I think Jacob... I think you're a good player. I think people sleep on Jacob a little bit. I think if the comms and a Jacob team are good, things go really well. I think you can look at that. You have IFM, you have Eric. You have 2 teams that have won. And I think Stanley and Hong can vibe off of those very well. But Joey and Thomas...
Can I pull up a quote from Jacob earlier?
Yeah, let me go over the last 2 real quick. I think you probably have some comments on them as well. But I think Joey and Thomas are really solid players as well. I think there is some like team flexibility. I don't know who you have to sub out to allow both these players in. Okay, it looks like you and anyone allows both of them in. So I think there's a lot of flexibility there. And obviously these people can play a lot of different roles. So I think there's a lot to look out for. And Noam is a fill player at heart as well. So you can see a lot of stuff with the subs on this team. So I just don't think that's something to forget. Which, unfortunately, as I was saying earlier, this is why I think this team is ahead. There's really a lot of stuff you need to pin down to figure out how to beat this team. So if that's something you're struggling to do, they can throw subs at you, and it's even harder.
I think, to quote Jacob, my goal is to come to peace with Mason's wins from previous seasons by riding his coattails to get my third dub. Thank you, Jacob. I appreciate the vote of confidence. I don't know why you put wins in air quotes. That seems a little fucked up, but whatever, man. Anyways, onwards to New York Nutbusters. I think we've talked a decent amount about this team. To elaborate a little bit on the topside stuff, I think Adam and Russ sort of have like the sword and shield dynamic that some LPL, LCK teams have. Russ is like really good at his tank champions, the Maokai, the Ornn, these weak side champions, and Adam, his carries are kind of gross. His GP, his Akshan, his I don't know, insert random third champion here. I don't know all of his champions. Aatrox. I think he played like some other champions like Gwen or something. I don't know.
Gwen's up
but
there
like
as well.
he's a pretty solid champ. He's a pretty solid player, and if you can pair him up with like an aggressive jungler, maybe you guys can take over the game with Zach playing like a more defensive mid laner. And like yeah, I think this team is pretty good. I do have them 6th. I just think it's just how the numbers shook out for me personally. It's just last minute teams tend to never do super hot IMO, and
look at your winning son. They won a game. They had the Avengers assemble. Wait, that was not the game to put out. Sorry, that was the game where their opponents got 2 pentakills.
That's true.
Twitch and Victor both got pentas there, but
yeah, I'm curious. Like this team should be fun to watch.
I think Dominic
Mike is a very slept-on player as well.
Agreed. Yeah. I think it was like obviously a team exploding at the end is not something you ever want to happen, but the fact that Mike gets to start now makes me so happy. Like
yeah,
I don't know.
I think, like you said earlier, he kind of got the Alex treatment where a lot of his teammates hit Diamond and people just forgot about Mike.
Wasn't he one of them though? Or am I like...
Mike did not hit Diamond. He don't play ranked like that.
Oh, true. You're right.
Yeah.
I forgot Blake was in there.
Mike is like my jungler at heart. I love the guy. He's a lot of fun to talk to and play the game with. So I think he's played... I think he just played really well last season, and I'm excited to see him start the season.
Yeah.
That's
same. I think if anything comes out of it, I think Will being a captain is really cool. I think Mike starting is really cool, and I think Michaela coming back is also really cool. Not that anything else is not necessarily cool, but like Dave and Russ just moved from a team that already existed. Adam was already on the team. Dom coming back is exciting, but he hasn't played too much, so I don't have too much of a read on him at the moment. Spectres, I think we covered.
We covered a lot of Spectres.
Yeah, you talked a lot about Spectres when we brought him up.
The tornado gap, I'm telling you, bro, this team does not deserve to be slept on. The tornado gap fucked us so hard last season. Avery is my goat, bro. If you're watching this, Avery, you're my favorite top laner. I'm sorry, dog. Crucify me, all the top lane players. Anyways, I'm kidding, by the way. I love all of my top laners equally, but I just think we did not get the credit that we deserved on the Spectres first season. I kind of was on the team. Phoebe, you don't gotta be salty about it, bro. I think Avery was very slept on last season, and I'm just excited to see him play. Yes. That's all.
Well, and no surprise that anyone, Ann and Jacob are arguing in chat, so that is what it is. I will move our power rankings to the side so we can make room for the overall power rankings. They have a few different ones, so we can look at just captains. I think we can do that first. There's like some in-call anonymous players. I don't think that necessarily is as important. So I think we just do captains. I was going to say cumulative, but I was going to abbreviate it, and I'm not doing that on stream. You know, obvious reasons. Okay, captains. Average number 1 would be the Metabusters, which we already talked about.
Let's go.
Next one is going to be Spectres. Next one down from the captains is Andromeda, then Rift Sharks. And then New York Nutbusters, and then MVP. So it's mine with a couple swapped, basically. I'm trying to think if anyone else is closer. No, because Andromeda and Spectres is swapped for you. It's closer to yours than it is to mine, but which is funny because you're not included in this data set, but whatever. I think it's interesting. I think that is probably somewhat significant. It's going
Yeah.
small though because I'm running out of space. I'm not even showing it. Shit. My bad.
Yeah, it's not the capture, bro.
Well, this is the captain's one. It can go right here.
Uh,
My bad.
Uh,
Sorry to anyone who's looking for that. Podcast listeners are fucking chilling though. You do not need the visuals.
Sure.
Captains overall, and then the other one is just overall.
Okay.
Which I'm not typing twice because why would you need to? Okay. And then these last picks, I think they're going to be pretty similar to the other ones. Everyone, it's a lot closer, but Metabusters, Spectres stays the same. I have to tab so many times. And then, wait, this is just the same. No, it isn't. Okay. It's mostly the same. Andromeda, Rift Sharks stays the same. And then MVP goes over New York Nutbusters, which now makes us evenly separate from this one. No.
Yeah.
This is closer to mine than it is to yours.
Yeah.
Because this just has us and Andromeda swapped. Whereas for you, it has the bottom and Spectres and Andromeda swapped.
Okay.
But I don't know. I guess we came pretty close to both consensuses, which I think is pretty interesting. Obviously, we're factored into them. I wonder how close we are if you take ours out, but whatever. That's too much effort to ask of Jacob, and I'm kind of done talking and really hungry.
Yeah, I think we hit a lot of the points that we wanted to. I'm sorry, PB, you're getting robbed of 20 minutes, but that's just how the cookie crumbles, bro. Sorry. I think we had a pretty banger episode. A lot of things we covered.
I'm excited to do
Captain's
more.
ranking was really good. Yeah. I'm excited for the season. Like, it's gonna be fun.
Yep. And
Thumbs
if
up.
anyone wants to join the podcast, just shoot me a message. I'll see if we can do guests or stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It
Unfortunately,
should be
you
on
won't-
every Monday.
Yes,
So.
you won't get to run it without Mason. Cry.
Yeah. I
But
will be here for most nights.
I'm happy. My king will be here. I don't know.
Yes, sir.
Maybe by the time the season's over, we will have an IRL podcast if I can convince you to
Maybe.
move. But we will see.
We'll have to see.
We can chronicle the arguments on the last 2 minutes of every podcast. All right.
Okay.
Bye bye everybody. Thanks for tuning in.
See you, gang.
I
Was fun.
appreciate. Yes. Peace.